What's up guys, Maelstrom here. If you enjoyed the video then like, subscribe and leave a comment down below so I can keep on making these awesome videos for you guys. Chapter 5. It has been more than 2.5 years now since Uzumaki Naruto, the Fanakusu Sannin of Konoha, left the village to train. During that time a lot has changed. Konoha's Genjutsu mistress had finally become a Junin, with her friend Konoha's snake mistress who was now a special Junin. A certain Ainu masked Anbu captain left his Anbu duty to become a full-pledged Junin. Also rumor about the Fanakusu Sannin has spread throughout the shinobi world, and when shinobi of another country heard that he was child of age 12 they would laugh, thinking that Konoha is making anyone a member of Sannin these days, because they were probably desperate to keep the title going. In spite of that, Iwa and Kumo decided to make Naruto an S-class nin in order to kill on sight, because he looked exactly like the Sandaime Hokage of Konoha. The new formed village Oto also made him an S-class nin, because he had killed several dozen of their Junin and Chunin, thus pissing off the self-proclaimed Otokage. There was also another shinobi that was making name for himself, though no one actually saw him, because he was simply too fast to see. Not even several squads of Anbu from Iwa were any match for him. Before they even knew what hit them, they were laying in their own pool of blood. He would come and simply disappear. Whenever this ninja comes and leaves, there would be a trail of orange that would also disappear with the wind a second later, so there would be no way to follow him. He called himself Senku no Kami, and the only reason anyone knew this was due to the time when he killed several Iwa Anbu squads who were rumored to have slaughtered a tiny town on the border of fire and earth, where he left a small black plate with a kanji for Senku no Kami in the middle of the mangled corpses of the Iwa Anbu. During this time Naruto managed to create his own kenjutsu style that was impossible for anyone not of his blood to use. Aside from that, he also added more jutsu to his arsenal and increased his natural speed, which was extremely important for the kenjutsu style he created. He also trained with all the different kinds of phoenix who taught him some jutsu and teamwork. He would usually train about 8 hours a day, and the rest would go between eating, taking shower, sleep, and hunting missing nins for some extra cash. He also formed his own spy network that in his opinion was pretty good. It was now officially 3.5 years since Naruto left, and the Hokage was wondering when Naruto would return due to the self-imposed return date he set for himself was drawing near. Then there was a knock on the door. Before it opened suddenly, and in came 3 people. The first could be identified as Hate Kakashi, who was currently reading Icha Paradise. Second was his son Sarutobi Asuma, and the last one was the rookie Junin Yakuranai. Asuma is the first one to speak up as he asked a question. Hokage-sama, why have you called us here today? Before he lit a new cigarette. As you all know, we have a batch of students who will be graduating tomorrow from the academy. Only the passing students will be picked to become rookie genin, and trailed off the old cage while taking a silent puff on his pipe. That's where we come in, don't we? Said Kakashi, putting away his book with a sigh, as he was not looking forward to this. Hi, I want you 3 to take teams, and I know Kurenai that you are a rookie genin, but I think that the experience will be good for you, and beside your team and Kakashi's team will be a joint team, since there's an even number of students, so you have nothing to worry about. That is if they pass, which I am pretty sure they will. The Sandaime finished as he let out a puff of smoke. So who will I be getting? Asked Kakashi lazily. You'll get the Uchiha Sasuke and Haruno Sakura, with Kurenai getting in Izuku Kiba, Hiwaga Hinata, and Abraham Shino. Asuma you'll be getting the next generation Ino Shikacho trio. Oh, and Kakashi, don't be late or you'll be doing D-rank mission for the next year, said Hokage in a serious tone, making Kakashi take up on the threat. That's all for now. You 3 are free to leave. Getting nods from all 3 as they vanished in a puff of smoke. A mile away from Konoha, a figure was speeding toward Konoha at incredible speed. The figure had blonde hair with red tips that was spiky, which went down to the middle of his shoulder blades. Along with his beautiful blue eyes, he had a face men would kill for and women would drool over. He had a forehead protector that was tied around his forehead with black cloth, identifying him as a shinobi. The insignia on it was unseen since his hair covered it. On his back was a sword with black sheath. Currently he was wearing a black sweater with a gray shinobi pants, and on his right thigh was a kunai hostler. He was also wearing black ninja sandals, and over his sweater was a black trench coat with orange flame licking the bottom of it, and also on the bottom of the short sleeves. On the back of the cloak there was the kanji for Fanakusu. Before he arrived in front of Konoha's gate he put a black mask over his face, for he feared the plague known as in girls. 2 Chunin stopped in front of him whom he didn't recognize, and one of them said, "Halt, State your name and reason for coming to Konoha. While on the inside both thought, he looks familiar. Uzumaki Naruto of Konoha returning from his training mission, said Naruto in a laid-back tone that while showing he's slightly bored, also commanded respect. This made both Chunin eyes wide and they hurried and said, Gomen Nasai Naruto-sama, we didn't recognize you with that mask on. Naruto waved his hand and said it didn't matter before he left in a swirl of black and orange flames that made both of the Chunin gape mouths ajar considering they never saw any types of shunshin like this one. The Hokage was currently reading a certain orange book and was pretty caught up in it since he hadn't sensed anyone lingering around the office. When suddenly he saw flames swirl around a figure, he quickly put out his book and assumed a relaxed yet defensive posture in this chair. As the flames vanished and he saw a person with blonde hair with red streaks, blue eyes, whose face was covered in black mask. Also he was about 60 feet tall, and very muscular yet not bulky, standing in the middle of his office. He couldn't help but feel like he'd seen him before until it clicked. Naruto, is that you? Asked the bewildered Hokage. Naruto chuckled and said, I'm surprised you recognize me, sensei. Though I'm glad you did, or else I would have had to beat you senseless until you did remember me. Chuckling the whole time, which made the Hokage smile, before responding, you sure have grown, Naruto, haven't you? Of course I have. I am pretty sure I could beat you in an all-out battle now, said Naruto in a tone that held absolute confidence in himself and not a bit of cockiness. And no, I mean, you got taller than me now and I'm pretty sure you could beat me if you wanted to, said Sarutobi with pride in his voice, happy that he could train such a student, though slightly shaken by the confidence Naruto conveyed in his tone as he mentioned that he felt he could beat him. So Naruto, why are you wearing a mask? Asked the curious Kage. Naruto blushed slightly out of embarrassment before saying, well, you see, a year after I left I started getting fangirls wherever I went. So to keep under the radar and keep the fangirls at bay I chose to start wearing a mask. Well, can I at least see your face? Asked the Hokage, who was anxious to determine how many fangirls Naruto would get if he didn't use his mask in Konoha. Sure, but you can't let it slip out or I will beat the crap out of you. Go it? Asked Naruto in a frightening tone, before getting a nod from Hokage. Then as he started to pull off his mask in slow motion, which gave a tick on his sensei's forehead, before he had enough and yelled, hurry up already. Naruto ducked at the volume before respond in pained voice while trying to clean out his ears with his pinky, alright, geez, you don't have to be so loud about it. He then took off his mask completely and Hokage blinked for a few seconds before his eyes went wide and his jaw dropped to the ground from shock. If he didn't know that this was Naruto he would have thought this was the former Hokage of Konoha, the Sandaime Hokage. It still didn't stop him from whispering, Minato, before thinking, damn, he looks so much like Minato that it's not even funny. No wonder he has fangirls. Minato was practically beating them off with a stick, before Kushina actually started to beat them with sticks, kunai, shuriken, swords, jutsu and whatever else was handy. I'm actually surprised he has been able to avoid them, though I don't know why. Naruto gave him a questioning look. Did you say something, sensei? Feigning ignorance as he heard what was said. Oh sorry, no, I was just thinking about someone who you reminded me of, quickly said the aging Kage while taking in all that is his student. Hokage, said Naruto putting back his mask on his face before anyone else barged in and saw him. Naruto, why don't you have the whisker-like marks on your face? Questioned a confused Hokage as he knew he was old, but he could have sworn Naruto always had whisker marks. Oh that, well you see, when I found out about me having the kiwabi and that it was the reason I had those whiskers marks, I decided to make a seal that would separate my chakra from its and keep them from mixing so it wouldn't be able to alter my body like that. After a year and a half of researching the Sandaime seal I was finally able to come up with a way to make his seal more powerful without hindering my growth. Also the kiwabi will never be able to communicate with me or ever wake up from a slumber, though if the need was to ever arise I could forcibly withdraw its chakra, explained the blonde before getting a nod of understanding from his sensei. Can I see this new seal you added to Yandaime's, Naruto? Asked the Hokage, and getting a nod in return. Naruto then lifted up his shirt and focused some chakra around his abdomen where the seal was. As the Hokage came closer to Naruto and looked carefully at the seal, admiring its complexity, there were 3 circles inside each other, which were surrounding the original seal to keep Kiwabi and Naruto. Connected with the first circle were 10 lines connected with each other to create a star. The seal is much stronger than the one Sandaime created, but both combined could contain at least 5 Kawabis without a problem, said Naruto, making Hokage's eyes wide open before continuing. Though without the masterful seal the Sandaime put on to begin with, the seal would never have worked. Pretty confident in it, aren't you, Naruto? Said the Hokage with a smirk, knowing while confident Naruto was rarely ever cocky. Of course, I am the one who created it after all, boasted Naruto jokingly, with a smile. So, what do you call it? Questioned the old man while smoking his pipe. Orichalcos no fluent, said Naruto nonchalantly as he relaxed in a chair. So what else can you do that I don't know about? Because I don't want to have a heart attack if I see you fight and pull something amazing. I'm old, you know, and knowing you, that stuff can happen, said the Hokage, eyeing Naruto's hair while laying a small guilt trip on the young man. Well, I learned some new jutsu from a couple missing nins, some from my summons, created my own style of kenjutsu, and also a speed technique. No, I won't tell you what it is. Making the Hokage pout at his response, which made Naruto laugh wholeheartedly at the god of shinobi pouting like an academy student. Then the door to the Hokage's office opened and in came the grandson of the Hokage, charging and saying, "Old man, today victory shall be mine," making Naruto and Hokage sweat drop. "This is the 10th times today," said the old man while watching Konohamaru trip on his own scarp and fall. Konohamaru then looked at Naruto and pointed his finger at him, then said, "You, how dare you trip me?" Getting another sweat drop, Naruto and Hokage. "Aheo, Konohamaru," said Naruto, ignoring his comment, while he waited for the young boy to recognize who he was. Konohamaru's eyes widened in recognition, yelled, "Naruto, and I send your back," before he jumped and hugged Naruto. Naruto chuckled at this and hugged him back, and after releasing Konohamaru from the hug, Naruto ruffled his hair and said, "So what are you doing these days besides trying to defeat your grandfather?" "Well, I joined the academy, but the teachers are really boring and they don't teach any jutsu except the crappy basics," spitefully said Konohamaru, which earned a laugh from Naruto and a chuckle from his grandfather. "So Nissen, can you teach me one of your cool jutsu?" asked the energetic youth, full of hope. Once you're a genin, I'll teach you a couple." "Deal?" said Naruto, earning him a sad yet hopeful nod. "Well guys, I have to go since I am kind of hungry from the traveling, so I'll see you two later." "Oh, and when is the genin team selection?" asked Naruto. "Tomorrow at 10. "But why do you want to know?" responded the Kage before asking his own question. "I want to see the batch that graduated and maybe check out the genin," answered the blonde with barely contained glee at the prospect of seeing that red-eyed beauty again. "Well, Yanni." Then Naruto used the flame shunshin and disappeared. Konohamaru was looking at the spot from where Naruto disappeared in awe before he yelled, "Sugoi," which was heard throughout the Leaf Village. Naruto was now walking through the streets of Konoha, getting odd glances from time to time from nearby people. He could tell that these glances were not that of hate, but it was that of familiarity. He didn't know that people looked at him like that because he was wearing the cloak that looked awfully like the Sandaime Hokage's. He headed straight towards his destination, which was the Ikaraku Ramen. When he got there, he saw old man Tuki cleaning the table. He went up to him and sat there, then said, "Old man, can I have 2 miso and 1 pork ramen?" "Coming right up, AYAME 2 miso and 1 pork," yelled the old ramen chef as he took in the sight of the new customer. Naruto sighed. It seems he didn't recognize me, but then again with the mask on he shouldn't. "So are you new in Konoha?" asked the old man while trying to see if he'll be a repeat customer. Not really. I've lived here all my life, but went on a training trip about 3.5 years ago." "Dare I say I'm your favorite customer?" Naruto said, smiling on the inside. Tuki then looked at him carefully and noted the things that he might be able to recognize the person who claims to be his favorite customer. He noted the blue eyes and the blonde hair with red tips. Now if you take away the tips he would look like Naruto. Then his eyes went wide when realization hit him and he stuttered, "Naruto?" Naruto smiled when Tuki was finally able to recognize him. "In the flesh, old man," said Naruto with a nice smile eerily familiar to a certain copy nin. Aim then came in with the ramen and put the food in front of him and was about to leave when her father said, "Guess what, Aim? Our favorite customer came back after a long time away." Aim looked at him with a questioning look and said, "Where is he, Otu-san?" Tuki pointed at Naruto, who had just finished eating his ramen, and looked at them before cheekily saying, "Yo, how you doing, Aim-chan?" Aim blushed at the nickname even though Naruto used to call her that before. "Is that you, Naruto-kun?" Getting a nod from him, Aim ran over to him and gave him a hug. After a few seconds she let him go to look at him and asked, "So Naruto-kun, what have you been doing for the past years?" "Besides training and traveling, nothing much." "How about you guys? "How is the business going?" asked a seriously concerned, as he was the bulk of their business before he left. "Well, better than before thanks to you," said Aim cheerfully while finishing up the ramen. "What do you mean?" questioned a curious Naruto as he drooled slightly at the smell of the ramen. "Shinobi would come more often than they used to, and they would mostly talked about Naruto-sama. It seems you've become quite famous around some shinobi," said the old man with a broad smile. Naruto smiled that he was actually being recognized by at least some people. Now he decided that it was time to go, so he pushed his stool back and got up to leave, but not before saying, "It was nice seeing you guys again, but I have to go, so bye," as he dropped enough money to cover the meal 100 times over. With that he jumped on top of one of the houses. "Come back soon," Naruto yelled to Ki as he collected all the money and a note that said the money was to cover all the money they missed out on while he was gone. Naruto waved his hand motioning that he will without looking back, then disappeared out of their sight. He was currently thinking about the red-eyed Kunoichi, who happened to catch his attention that particular day so long ago. He didn't know why, but something about her makes his heart soar. She was also the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. Even in his journey he didn't see a woman like her, and believe it or not he saw a lot. Hell, most were chasing him, trying to bed him. He couldn't wait to see her again and perhaps ask her out on a date or something, though he was pretty sure that she wouldn't be accepting his offer if she knew how old he was, though. Her name was a mystery to him, though he knew her alias as Konoha's Ice Queen. He would have to ask someone if they knew if she was seeing anyone at the moment before even considered asking her out on a date. He was so lost in thoughts that he didn't even realize that he was in the middle of a training ground until a kunai was coming his way, and if he didn't tilt his head he would have been a dead man, or most people would have been a dead man. He looked around to see who threw the kunai. He saw 4 people making their way toward him. There was a girl and 3 guys. She was wearing a pink sleeveless shirt and green ninja pants. She also had brown hair, and with her was a boy who could be mistaken for a girl because his hair was long. Judging by his eyes, Naruto could tell that he is a Hokage. Behind them were 2 guys who freaked him out. They looked like clones of each other, except one was taller than the other one. The only other difference was that taller one had a Junin vest while Minihim had white wrappers around both his forearms. They both had same bowl cut and eyebrows that looked like black leeches. "Goldman," the girl interjected. "My idiotic teammate suddenly decided to see if he could hit a target with a kunai, and it seems he totally missed," while giving a glare at the mini-clone. "Ah ha ha, you shouldn't be sorry. I was so caught up in my thoughts that I didn't even know where I was, and I still don't," said Naruto, feeling kind of embarrassed. Deciding to introduce herself to the tall blonde, she said, "I'm 1010. She moved her hand forward to shake his, and he gladly accepted. Then she pointed to Hokage and said, "That's Hokage Neji, who gave Naruto a HNN, and the taller one is our sensei Mato guy, and the other is Rock Lee. We're Genin team number 9. Both of them gave him their trademark smile with sparkling teeth, which served to freak Naruto out even more. "Yosh, you must be a great ninja to be able to dodge my superior throwing skill. I must know the name of the person who is as youthful as me and Gai-sensei," yelled the mini-clone while giving a thumb up. Naruto winced at loudness of his voice and sweat dropped when he heard mini-clone talk about his superior skill, and so did his teammates. When he looked at both clones he saw them hugging each other and yelling, "Gai-sensei Lee, Gai-sensei Lee," and a sun rose, and now there were 2 suns in the sky accompanied by crashing wave. While this was continuing, Naruto looked at Tenten and said, "Are they always like that?" His tone showed a hint of fear. Tenten sighed and answered, "You have no idea. This is nothing compared to their other antics. You know, you still haven't told us your name." "Right, sorry. My name Uzumaki Naruto." "A pleasure to you," said Naruto while giving her a short bow. Tenten blushed a little at that, since no one even bowed to her before. When Guy heard Naruto say his name, he stopped hugging Lee. He got up, then ran to Naruto and stuttered with excitement, Did you say you were Uzumaki Naruto?" While his students were thinking what's so special about this guy that got their sensei this excited over. Yes," answered a scared Naruto, seeing this guy's face. Then Guy's eyes went wide and he hurriedly took out a book which had a title called Autograph of Super Strong Allies and Rivals, and he opened it, then gave it to Naruto with a pen and said, "Naruto-sama, would you give me the pleasure of having your name in my precious book?" Naruto, unsure of what to do at the moment, says, "S sure." Then opened the book and only saw one name in whole book, that of one Hate Kakashi. He then signed the book, and after giving it back to Guy, before he disappeared so fast he left an afterimage for 3 seconds before it dissipated. "Sugoi," He was so fast I didn't even see him go," yelled Guy and his clone, while the other two had their jaw on the ground at the display of Naruto's speed. Tenten wanted to know just who that guy was, so she decided to just ask her sensei, "Guy-sensei, why are you so excited to see that guy? Also, why are you calling him Naruto-sama? He doesn't look any older than us." "My youthful students, we just had the pleasure to meet one of the strongest shinobi in the world. He is famed Funakusu Sannin of Konoha, who gained the title at the age of 12 and now he should be around 15 years of age," explained Guy in an excited voice while looking at the sky. When he looked at his students he saw their eyes as big as a saucer and had their jaw on the floor. He couldn't help but laugh at their expression, since this was the same look he had when he heard Naruto became a Sannin. "Teeth, that's impossible," stuttered Neji, thinking fate was playing a cruel joke. "He's too young to be that strong," Tenten said. Neji also agreed to that, though he couldn't voice it due to shock. "Believe it or not, he isn't. He gained it through hard work," said Guy as he looked at Lee, who had stars around his eyes, before shouting out, "Yosh, my youthful Lee, we will up your weights and training so you can one day become strong like Naruto Sama. Before that we will run 500 laps around Konoha for not recognizing our prestigious Sannin, and if we can do that, we will do 5,000 push-up, and if we..." "Alright, we get it, geez," yelled Tenten, who had enough of the two idiots. She then started walking with Neji while both were thinking how it was possible for someone so young to be so powerful. Tenten also thought he was cute with his flaming hair, even though she couldn't see his face because of that cursed mask. "I will see his whole face, I swear it," thought a slightly obsessed Tenten, even though she had no idea why she cared, but just shrugged it off. With Naruto was currently in his room in the Sarutobi estate, laying face down on the bed. He was hoping to never meet those nut jobs again after today. Sure, they seemed like great people, it's just that they were a bit too eccentric for him to take. He was also wondering what tomorrow would have in store for him, and with that he drifted off to sleep. The next day Naruto woke up 6 o'clock in the morning and decided to get his daily training in, so he went to the private training ground in the Sarutobi estate. After 2 hours of Kenjutsu training, Naruto decided to end it for the morning training. He freshened up and ate breakfast with everyone in the family. After that he got ready to go to the academy. Currently he was wearing black sweater with a picture of a phoenix on his left chest. He now put on his black pants and then put his cape and the forehead protector on, then put on his sword. He looked at himself in the mirror and in his opinion he looked good. Now to put on the mask, thought Naruto, and for 5 minutes he looked for it, but couldn't find it anywhere. He went out of his room and saw Konohamaru wearing his shoes to get ready to go to the academy. "Hey Konohamaru, did you see my mask anywhere?" asked Naruto, and his question was answered when Konohamaru shook his head in a no. "Where did you put it last night, Nisan?" Naruto thought for a second, then said, "If I remember correctly, I put it next to my pillow before I went to sleep, and now I can't find it, and I also can't find the spare ones." "Why do you need it anyway?" "I mean, with that face you could get any girl you want, and you will also have fangirls," said a confused Konohamaru, who thought it would be so cool to have fangirls since he never had any. "That's why I need the mask. I don't want any fangirls, because last time I got caught by them I was almost raped," said Naruto while shuddering at the memory of the time he was caught off guard by a herd of women. Konohamaru paled at the thought of being raped by women and felt sorry for his Nisan. "Well Nisan, I have to go to the academy or I will be late." With that Konohamaru left the room, leaving. Naruto then proceeded to look for the mask, but after 10 minutes of looking he found nothing, and he swore he would kick the person's ass that took his mask. Hokage office. The Hokage was going through the evil paperwork when he suddenly felt a shiver go up his spine, but he shrugged it off. At the moment he was thinking about how much fun he would have when Naruto will go out without his mask. He would have to finish his paperwork fast so he could watch him through the crystal ball. He then gave out a perverted giggle at the thought. Before going out the estate, Naruto prayed to whatever kami out there to not get raped by fangirls. It was one of those days when he wished he were an ugly person. He decided to go to the Hokage office to ask for the room number, and he didn't really have much time before the academy started, so he shushed into the Hokage's office. When he got there he saw the Hokage throw a crystal ball that was set in an academy room and then looked at him and said, "How may I help you today, Naruto?" Inside he was slightly scared, thinking that Naruto might have found out that it was him who stole Naruto's mask. "Ah sensei, I need to know the room number for the graduating class," said Naruto, and this made the Hokage sigh in relief, which made Naruto narrow his eyes. but shrugged it off as nothing. The graduating class should be in room 311 and it already started about 5 minutes ago, said the Hokage. He then motioned for Naruto to come and see inside the crystal ball. Naruto then went over to look and saw a person coming with scar across his nose talking to the class. Go to the room that has this teacher and you are in the right room since I know you won't going inside the academy without your mask on. Earning a nod from Naruto, who was about to shush him out of the room and then realized, how did you know I don't have the mask with me right now, said Naruto with a narrowed eye. The Hokage was sweating under Naruto's gaze, thinking he was caught, but he quickly came up with an excuse. You see, I know because you would never come out of the without your mask on even for a second, said the Hokage, who was praying to Kami that Naruto takes his excuse. Okay then, I will be leaving, said Naruto, leaving a relieved Hokage. A while ago inside room 311. Ino pig, get out of my way. I'm sitting next to Sasuke. That was the shout of a girl with pink hair. No way, forehead girl. I am sitting next to Sasuke, shouted a girl with blonde hair that was in a ponytail. TCH. So troublesome, intervened a kid who had black hair that was tied into a ponytail. His head looked like a pineapple. Care to repeat that pineapple head, lazy bum, shouted both girls at the kid who spoke up. Sadly, these were the nicknames he got because he was lazy and he had pineapple head. The fight between Sasuke's fangirls continued even when the sensei came into the room. The guys in the room shut up when they saw Iruka come in, while the fangirls were so caught up in their bickering that they didn't see him. Iruka walked over to his desk and put the paper down and waited few minutes for the kunoichi to settle down. Then he got impatient since the girls didn't seem to notice him and was still up each other's throat. He then decided to raise his own voice and said, "Will you shut up and sit down in your seats?" which got everyone's attention. Good. Now that I have your attention, start to go over the team selection, said Iruka. With Naruto. Naruto just appeared in front of the academy and quickly put a genjutsu on himself, then looked through some window before finally finding the class he was looking for. He then jumped through the window and hopped in the classroom. He doubted anyone in the class would notice him unless they are genjutsu specialist. The jutsu he used is an A-rank jutsu. When he got inside the class, he saw the teacher about to announce the team with Iruka. Okay. Team 1. Team 7 under Hatake Kakashi will be Uchiha Sasuke and Sakura Haruno. Under Hokage-sama's order they will join team with Team 8 under Yuhi Kurenai will Inuzuka Kiba, Abaram Shino and Hiwaga Hinata. Next team. Iruka-sensei, how come we have to team up with them? Asked a kid with a dog on his head who was glaring at the Uchiha and Haruno. Because Kiba, they are one member short, so Hokage-sama decided to join both teams, answered Iruka, which shut the boy up. Now, as I was saying, Team 10 under Sarutobi Asuma will be Nara Shikamaru, Akimeki Chouji, and Yamanaka Ino. Getting complaints from Ino about why she is stuck with a fat ass and a lazy bum while forehead girl is with her Sasuke. She was about to say more when a glare from Iruka shut her up. One of her teammate mumbled troublesome while the other was munching on chips. Please wait patiently until your June. But before he could finish, 3 figures walked through the door. Among them were a woman and 2 men. Naruto looked to the door when he noticed 3 chakra signature coming toward the room. Then 2 men come in and behind them was a woman. He noticed the first person since it was Asuma. The next person he was pretty sure he saw somewhere, but couldn't put a finger on it. This person's height covered up the left eye while the right eye was shown. He had silver hair that spiked upwards and slightly forwards. He had a mask that covered his face. It went from his neck all the way up to and over his nose. He had on your standard Junin vest that was green in color and had 6 pockets for scrolls and such in the front. He had blue ninja pants with bandages wrapping his ankles. He had his kunai shuriken pouch on his left leg. Each hand had gloves on with a metal back on them. He also had blue ninja sandals. He was reading the same perverted book his sensei reads. The last person, the person that Naruto was waiting to meet. It was the woman he liked for some time now. She had black hair that was shoulder length and would curl slightly at the end, giving it a look of slight wildness. She had red eyes that stood out vastly. Her forehead protector was on her forehead. She had a weird dress sort of thing. It was more like bandages that were black and white, but it was a dress sort. It was made to have easy maneuverability. She had on normal shinobi sandals and the dress went down to her mid-thighs. She also had bandages on her hands that went to just before her elbows. Naruto's eyes went wide and a blush crept up to his face. Because of this he kind of lost control of his genjutsu. This was felt by Kurenai, who then put her hand in a seal and said, "Kai." This dispelled Naruto's genjutsu. Then he thought, crap, and he turned around to leave fast before anyone saw him when Kurenai yelled, Matt. Hearing her angelic voice, Naruto froze in his step. He then put up behind his head and looked at her with a nervous smile and a blush. Kurenai saw the stranger turn, and when he did, her eyes went wide from shock and a blush crept up to her face, as did every other girl in the class, while the guys' students had a look of envy except for Sasuke, Shino and Shikamaru. Some even had drool falling from their mouth. Kakashi and Iruka dropped whatever they had in their hand, and in Kakashi's case it was his book. "That's the most beautiful man I've ever seen," or "OMG, he is so hot," were the thoughts of fangirls, that is of course, except Sakura, who thought her Sasuke-kun looked way better. Kakashi, Iruka and Kurenai had one thought in their mind: Yondaime-sama Minato-sensei. As for Asuma, he already got over the shock when he saw Naruto at the house, and now he had a smirk on his face. "Say sensei, is that you?" asked a shocked beyond belief Kakashi. What are you talking about?" asked a not so confused Naruto, who looked at Kakashi then Kurenai and blushed again, which was noticed by Asuma, who decided to use it on Naruto later. "Ano, who are you?" asked Kurenai, whose blush intensified by a little. Kakashi and Iruka still haven't gotten over their initial shock. Naruto walks over to her and said, "Uzumaki Naruto, a pleasure to meet you." He takes her right hand and kisses it. This time her blush skyrocketed and some of the girls fainted, while others were pissed at Kurenai for getting a kiss from such a hot guy. "Naruto-sama, what are you doing here?" interjected Kakashi, while he, Kurenai and Iruka were thinking that he looked so much like him. When Kakashi added Sama to Naruto's name, every student in the class gave him a questioning look, and when the Inuzuka was about to ask why, he was inferred by a girl who shouted, "Hey, what the hell do you think you are doing spying on us, you freak?" Everyone turned their head to the voice and they saw the pink-haired girl. "Sakura, show him some respect," shouted Iruka, which scared her a little because Iruka never yelled at anyone like that. Sakura in a shaky voice said, "How come, Iruka-sensei? He was spying on us and I never saw him in Konoha, so he may be a spy from other village." "So I thought." "You thought wrong, Sakura. He is not a spy. He is the Phoenix Sannin of Konoha," explained Kakashi, getting collective gasp from the students that was heard throughout the classroom. They learned about the three fearsome legendary ninjas, and here was a Sannin standing right in front of them, even if he wasn't mentioned in the book, and what was more amazing was that he didn't look any older than them. That's impossible. You have got to be lying, right sensei?" half-stammered and half-asked Kiba to Iruka. "No Kiba, it's true. He is the first person to ever reach Kage level at the age of 12, so in other words he became a Sannin when he was 12 and then left Konoha for about 3 years," said Iruka, making the whole class speechless to hear of such amazing feat except Sasuke, who balled his fist in anger at hearing someone besting him, an elite Uchiha. He was supposed to be the strongest, and here was a person who surpassed him. He swore that he would find out the secret of his power, then take it from him and make it his own. Inside his sick little mind, the chibi Sasuke gave out an evil laugh. "Hey, why don't you prove to us that you are a Sannin, because we don't believe it," yelled Sasuke. Everyone in the class was surprised by Sasuke's outburst, because he never spoke louder than Shino, who basically never talks unless necessary, and Uchihas never spoke loud. As for Sasuke, he wanted to see if Naruto was as strong as Iruka said, and if he is, then maybe he could teach Sasuke so he could kill his brother. Naruto looked at the Uchiha and sent out a little killer intent that made him almost wet his pants, since it was directed at him only so no other students felt it. "I don't have to prove anything to you, fool," said Naruto coldly. That sent shiver up everyone's spine. "Ano, Naruto-sama, would you like to introduce yourself to the class and maybe tell us your likes and dislikes?" asked Iruka, hoping that Naruto wouldn't kill one of his students. Naruto gave him a nod and went in front of the class. "Well, let's see. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. My likes are Ramen, though not as much as I used to. Also a certain beautiful Junin and creating new techniques." Everyone in the classroom raised an eyebrow when he said he liked a Junin, and Naruto saw the looks, but decided to continue. "My dislikes are arrogant people and people who hate someone for a thing they have no control over. My dream, currently I don't have one as of right now, but maybe someday I will." "Naruto-sama, can you tell us why you are called the Phoenix Sannin?" asked Ino, while using her puppy-eye jutsu on Naruto. Naruto looked at the class and saw that they had a look of anxious. He then looked at the academy teacher and the Junins and saw that they had the same expression on their faces except Kakashi. He really couldn't tell due to the mask covering his face. He thought for a second then said, How about I show you instead of explaining some boring stuff, making some of the students to break out into loud cheers in hopes of seeing something really cool. Naruto stepped out of the classroom as everyone followed him to the academy training ground. He slowly walked to the middle of the field while everyone else stayed on the sideline. Naruto rolled up his left sleeve before revealing a tattoo in the shape of an orange bird. It covered his whole forearm with its wings in a position like it was about to take off as its tail was wrapped around Naruto's arm. Biting his thumb, Naruto smeared the blood on the tattoo, then smirked as suddenly in a puff of orange fire, a flaming bird slightly taller than Naruto himself appeared out of nowhere. All those present were speechless at the beauty of the summon. Over 10 feet tall, stood right next to the blonde. Its feathers were black as night with an orange tinge to the ends, making it look like the flames were on fire. Its eyes, which were surveying the field, were a brilliant gold with dancing flames in the center of each. It snorted in annoyance, causing its nostrils to flare black flames out of the end of its crimson beak. Naruto saw the look on their faces, which made him scratch the back of his head and give out a nervous chuckle, then looked at his summon's annoyed face and said, "Sorry Raitsu, I needed to demonstrate to the academy students why I am called the Fanakusu Sannin." Naruto apologized to the bird standing next to him. Before anyone could say anything, Sasuke came up to Naruto and said, "I demand that you teach me your jutsus." In a demanding tone, jealous at the fact that Naruto was able to summon something like that and without seals. Sasuke knew that a jutsu like that is at least Chunin level, and for him to use it without breaking a sweat means that he is strong. Not that Sasuke would admit it. Naruto raised an eyebrow and replied, did you say something, Uchiha-san?" Making Sasuke ball his fist in anger, thinking Naruto was mocking him. He then asked the question again, only louder this time, "I said teach me how to do that in your other jutsus." "I can teach it to you, because you need to sign a contract with the Phoenix," said Naruto, slightly annoyed. Then give me your contract so I can show those birds what a true shinobi of an elite clan do," Sasuke said with arrogance in his voice while looking at Naruto. Then the bird for a second Raitsu's glowed brightly before he disappeared and reappeared on top of Sasuke, who was pinned to the ground with his throat between Raitsu's right foot talons ready to slit at any moment. Raitsu then said, "An imbecile with a darkened soul such as yours could never hope of becoming a summoner of the mighty Phoenix clan." In an angered tone, Naruto, seeing an angry Raitsu, said, "Raitsu, that's enough. I had no intention of allowing someone so unworthy summon your clan." In a firm tone before Raitsu nods and disperses, Sasuke, who was scared, slowly got up and dusted off his clothes. "Fine. I don't need that stupid summon anyway. So to make up for that, teach me your other jutsus," he demanded with a glare. "Why should I teach you anything?" asked Naruto with a bit of malice in his voice at being demanded something by a mere genin. "Because I have to get strong enough to kill a man," causing every male and some female students to now back away from Sasuke while the other fangirls thought he was cool, especially Sakura. "And who might that man be?" questioned Naruto, even though he could guess who that man is. "None of your business, so just teach me the jutsu," demanded Sasuke in a loud voice. He was currently getting at his limit. "Let me think about that," said Naruto while going into thinking pose. Sasuke had a hopeful look on his face, and inside he was devising the fall of his brother with this jutsu. Then couple of seconds later Naruto looked at Sasuke. "How about no?" answered Naruto calmly. Hearing this, Sasuke balled his fist hard enough to draw a little blood. Everyone on the side was getting a little worried at what Sasuke might do since Naruto rejected to teach him. Kakashi was about to go and calm Sasuke down when he yelled, "Why won't you teach me?" As he gritted his teeth hard. Naruto's simple answer was, "Because I don't like you." With that he turned to leave. He got a few steps, then felt a puny killer intent before he heard Katen Gokyaku no Jutsu Fire Release, Great Fireball Technique. When he turned around he saw a fireball coming toward. After hearing Naruto's answer, Sasuke being angry was an understatement. He was furious. How dare nobody like Naruto treat him, and Uchiha like he was nothing. For that he is going to pay, and with that in mind Sasuke started do seals. On the sideline everyone's eyes went wide when they saw Sasuke start to seals for a Katen Jutsu. People just froze when they saw him prepare to attack a Sannin. Kakashi got out of the shock state and was about to reach for Sasuke to stop him from finishing the last seal, but he was too late. When Sasuke finished the jutsu and launched it toward Naruto, he saw Naruto stop in his track and look back to see the upcoming fireball. Naruto turned around to see a giant fireball heading his way. He suddenly smirked and just stood there, not even moving an inch, like he didn't see anything coming his way. People on the sideline were confused by his action. Here was a fireball coming Naruto's way and he is just standing there. Everyone stayed quiet, until Kurenai yelled out, "Naruto-kun, move out of the way." Without even thinking, she put both her hand, hoping that no one heard her say it. That hope went down the drain when she saw some junins and some students looked at her. She knew it was loud enough for everyone to hear, but a girl can always hope, can't she? Naruto heard her and had a blush on his face, but he didn't have time to think about that since he had the foolish Uchiha to deal with at the moment. The fireball impacted with Naruto, and upon impact, sound of explosion resonated throughout the area. Everyone was anxiously waiting for the dust and smoke to clear up so they could see the result of the impact. Ha ha ha. Some Sannin he is dead after being hit by one of my jutsu. It goes to show that Uchihas will always be superior to any others, said Sasuke, giving out an evil laugh that would make the former Snake Sannin proud, but he soon stopped laughing when heard someone give out a chuckle from inside the smoke. Then he saw an outline of red flames around a figure, but couldn't make it out clearly because of the smoke. It started to clear up, and in all glory stood the Phoenix Sannin, who had red flames around him that looked like a barrier and oddly like armor. All the students' jaw on the ground at seeing Naruto standing there without even a scratch on him, while the academy teachers went wide-eyed. Kakashi and Asuma was pretty sure Naruto would survive a jutsu delivered by a academy student, even if the person was Rookie of the Year, or he wouldn't be much of a Sannin. Naruto looked at Sasuke and a smile appeared on his lips. I think I will taunt him some to see how much he can handle, though I don't think it will be much since he is an Uchiha and an Avenger at that, thought Naruto with a smirk. Sasuke-chan, you actually thought that you puny Uchiha's jutsu would hurt me? Tisk tisk tisk, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. At the level you are, a million of those fire jutsu wouldn't hurt me, said Naruto in a mocking tone, while a devious smile formed on his lips seeing how it affected the Uchiha. On the sideline, people were snickering at the addition of Chan to Sasuke's name and the fact that Uchiha being called weak, that is, except his fangirls, who were kind of pissed that this person had the nerve to call their beautiful Sasuke-kun weak. They didn't mind the Chan since it made him sound kawaii. Sasuke was seething at being called weak. He would show this person how strong an Uchiha is, even if it means that he had to kill him, which shouldn't be too hard considering he is from a prestigious clan. Sasuke then took out several kunai from his pouch and then said, I want to see how you block this. Mat Sasu. Iruka tried to yell, but stopped when he saw Naruto raise a hand and motioned for him not say anything and to let Sasuke do whatever he wanted. But Iruka stammered. It's okay, Iruka-san. It seems your student has a lot of anger in himself, so I simply want him try and take out that anger on me. That is if he can, said Naruto while smiling, which got him a worried nod from Iruka. Well Uchiha, what are you waiting for? I will only use one finger against you. That should make it easier for you to beat me, and I will also teach you the jutsu you wanted if you could make me bleed, said Naruto, getting a wide smirk from Sasuke and yells of encouragement from his fangirls. The loudest one was the girl with pink hair, who yelled, Gyo Sasuke-kun, kick his ass. I know you can do it since no one in our age group is stronger than you. Trying to encourage him more. At this the Junins and the Chunin's teachers gave her a look that say are you stupid also earned her sweat drop from some of the students. Naruto chuckled at what she said and looked straight as Sasuke, then said, well, you sure have some loyal fangirls, don't you? Getting a tick on Sasuke's head. What are you waiting for? A card with invitation to attack me, said Naruto. Sasuke then threw several kunai at Naruto, which was evaded by him easily. Sasuke, seeing his kunai was evaded, ran up to Naruto with a single kunai in his hand, and when he got there he took a swipe at Naruto across his chest in a vertical line. Time slowed down for everyone as they saw the kunai about to make contact with Naruto's chest, but it stopped by something they couldn't see clearly, but when they looked closely what they saw made everyone either have their jaw on the ground or go wide-eyed. Everyone rubbed his or her eyes, then looked at Naruto and Sasuke again to confirm if they were just imagining things. Then they saw the same scenario. Naruto had just stopped Sasuke's attack with only his index finger, which was surrounded by black lightning that made faint crackling sound. And Nani, stuttered Sasuke at seeing his attack was just blocked by one finger. But he was even more surprised when Naruto started to push the kunai away with amazing strength. Once Naruto pushed away the kunai several inches from his body, he looked Sasuke in the eye and said, With that kind of strength you'll never be able to pierce through this electricity and also never be able to kill the person you mentioned, and the path you choose will never give you power. Remember that." With that, Naruto pulled his hand back and with lightning fast speed he plunged his index finger into Sasuke's shoulder blade. Sasuke at this point froze when he felt something go inside his body. Then he felt sudden jolts of pain coursing throughout his body like he had been hit all over. He gritted his teeth from the pain and this kept him from screaming out for a few seconds. But he couldn't take it so anymore, so he screamed out as loud as he can. He then fainted from the excruciating pain, but not before hearing Naruto whisper Shigen. On the sideline, girls had their hand over their mouth and the boys had a frightened look on their face from the power Naruto showed. "And I had so much fun beating up Sasuke, and I am sorry for doing that to him if there is any Sasuke fan, but I honestly hate him a lot." Suddenly Naruto caught someone running up to Sasuke, and when he looked to see whom it is, he saw the girl with pink hair who was supposed to be Sasuke's teammate along with Team 8. She went up to Sasuke and then cradled him, then looked at Naruto and shouted, "What the did you do to my Sasuke-kun? Yo, you demon!" Naruto froze when he heard her say that, including everyone that knew about his secret. Flashbacks of the past started to flood Naruto's mind and he subconsciously started to release massive amount of killer intent that made most of the genin pass out, and the one that were conscious were on their feet shaking like madmen. Even the experienced Junins were sweating under the pressure of the killing intent. When Naruto realized that he was releasing killer intent, he immediately stopped. Looking around, he saw conscious people were breathing heavily. He gave everyone an apologetic look and said, "Gomen, Minasan," earning a faint nod from some of them. Naruto looked at Sakura and saw a look of fear in her eyes, then said, "You're lucky that I am happy today," making everyone make a mental note to never piss him off. If this was him happy, then they never wanted to see him pissed. Naruto looked at Kakashi and scratched the back of his head in embarrassment. "Sorry nah, Kakashi-san. I guess you'll have to postpone your exam since Uchiha probably won't wake up for another day or two, and I think you should try to make him give up on that revenge thing." Giving Kakashi an awkward smile, Kakashi nodded at Naruto's statement. He too thought the Sasuke would hurt himself if he doesn't give up on killing his brother. "Well, I guess I will be going now, Johnny." With that, Naruto left Shishin out of the training ground since he didn't want to surprise anyone anymore today. One thought passed everyone's mind, and that was, what power? Kyuso, that demon brat ruined my plan. Now I will probably have to wait a little longer before I could have the Uchiha steal the forbidden scroll. But then again, I think this little fight between them will drive Sasuke's desire to get stronger, and I could use that to my advantage, thought a man in Chunin jacket with white hair. He had a devious smile on his face while he was thinking of the best ways to succeed in his plan. "Hokage Tower, don't you think you went a little overboard with poking your finger in his shoulder, Naruto?" asked the Hokage. "Oh, come on sensei, you can't possibly tell me that you wouldn't do the same if you were in my shoes." "I personally think he deserved it, and besides that will teach him to never underestimate his opponent and also attack someone in a fit of rage whom is most likely stronger than him," interjected Naruto. "But still, you didn't have to make him pass out. Kami knows when he is going to wake up, and from the look on his face I would say it would take a while," said Sarutobi while inhaling deadly smoke from his pipe. Naruto shrugged at what his sensei said. "Well, aside from the Uchiha, what did you think of the other clan heirs?" questioned a curious Hokage who wanted opinion of his pupil. It seemed the Hyuga heir is shy and seems to lack confidence in herself. The Inizuka brat seemed loud. Abraham is really quiet, and that's to be expected. Nara is lazy like everyone in his family. Earning a chuckle from the Hokage, he then motioned for Naruto to continue. Akimaki seemed to eat a lot of chips. Yamanaka is a fangirl of the Uchiha like the Haruno. Overall, I would say they all have a lot potential to become great shinobis in the future, if they put their mind to it," Naruto said while he was in his thinking pose. Hokage nodded at Naruto's view on everyone. "Alright Naruto, I will see you at the house later. Now I have to finish my paperwork, and because of the injury you gave Sasuke, I will probably have more coming in soon," said an annoyed Hokage. Naruto, seeing this, said, "Why don't you use Kage Bunshin to do the work?" making Sarutobi's eyes become as big as a saucer. He then started to bang his head with the desk, mumbling, "Why didn't he think of that?" over and over again. Naruto chuckled when he saw his sensei acting like an idiot. He decided to leave the old man alone for the time being, so he walked out the door. When he walked out of the room, He saw the female secretary of the Hokage with a huge blush on her face while looking at him. He ignored her stare and simply walked out of the building. Unknown area incognita. In a dark room, two figures could be barely seen. One was sitting on a chair while the other one was about 10 feet in front of him kneeling down. Report, demanded the person on the chair, and by the sound of his voice he seemed at least around 60 years of age. Uzumaki Naruto, the Phoenix Sannin of Konoha, has returned to the village yesterday, sir, stated the figure in front of him. I see. What of the situation in Odo? The Hokage has agreed on our terms and he will help us carry out your plan, that is if we help him reach his goal. Alright, you are dismissed. Hi, Danzo-sama. With that the person on the floor disappeared. Sarutobi, you will regret not giving me the Kiwabi brat, said Danzo to himself while laughing out manically, which was heard throughout the room. That's the end of this part, guys. If you want the next part, then like, subscribe and leave a comment saying so. This is Maelstrom signing off.